32. Imagine that it's been more than 100 years since the Venus Project became a reality, but there were some of these big corporation leaders that somehow escaped and have outcast themselves, and they are trying to bring back the monetary system. How do you think the Venus Project would prevent a scenario like this to happen? We have to consider all kinds of possibilities even worse than this. I assume your question is, what if there are people that want to bring back the monetary system? Well, once the transition was to occur, there would be absolutely no interest to bring back a monetary system. If I was to think in general about it, I would say maybe you could have a system of two people bartering if they wanted to for something under the surface, something so obscure. But, you know, just like the Amish exist today, which very much reject most of modern society, in the event people still had moderate lifestyles where they engaged forms of trade, maybe that could be accounted for on some level. Is it really necessary? No. I think the system's approach to society will create such a different world where people will be so, they will understand it, they will enjoy what it's produced, they will contribute to it, and they will be supported by it. Their interest will not go towards themselves, their interest will go towards the system, and I think that the value shift will be unstoppable. There will be no turning back at that point. That's sort of like saying that people will eventually just go back and live with caves and beat women over the head with clubs and drag them by their hair back to the caves. By the way, I have no idea if that's actually historically true. I just noticed that in cartoons. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm sure there are other instances where there's other nonsensical, primitive instances that people would say the same argument. Like, what if people wanted to do this primitive act? I mean, in society today, very few people can say track animals. There's very few people that, well, actually that's not true. There's some people that can do that. In modern society, technological society, we have moved out of all of the earlier notions that would have been considered socially acceptable, say, 5,000, 6,000 years ago. And that's really just a pattern you have to be aware of. I don't think there's any turning back. Once we get out of the monetary system and abundance is created, people will not even know what the hell money was ever for. They'll wonder what the people were even thinking back in our time to create this ridiculous system of reward and scarcity rather than creating a holistic system to take care of everybody. They'll be baffled. But they'll accept it as a natural train of evolution. They'll study it in history class, and all the little kids will laugh.